Hi, this is Dennis from Accuser, and you're listening to the Metal Bloodshed with DJ Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio. Rock on!
Dennis, it's a pleasure to have you back right here on the Bloodshed with the Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure to have you back, man.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, man.
Dennis, it was almost 2 years ago when we first met back in 2016, sometimes for the interview we did upon your engagement with Accuser and the band's new album at that time, The Forlorn Divine. I don't remember asking you this then in 2016. Dennis, at still a very young age, what do you do when you're not doing anything that has to do with the band? And are you still only active with Accuser?
So I spend a lot of my free time playing music, writing music, not only for Accuser but for other projects that might come along as well. I'm not really playing in any other band beside Accuser, but I do have some kind of side project just for fun.
Your day-to-day life, what do you do for living? Working in a steady company or place?
Yeah, I work as an engineer in a local company.
Okay, thank you very much for describe, especially for the fans, a little bit on the life, the day-to-day life of you, Dennis.
Yeah, so it's always cool to hear those people that play music, what they actually have to do to,
it was so great if we can all just live earning money doing metal.
Yeah, that's quite difficult. If you really wanted to go that way, it would be quite difficult and very unstable.
The thrash metal of 21st century has been nothing but positive, with contemporary acts of the genre such as Bounded by Blood, Warbringer, Havoc, and Evil, introducing a new generation of metal fans of a style of music popularized by 80s legends such as Anthrax creator Testament, Destruction, among numerous of others. When talking about the history of thrash metal, we cannot forget to mention the Germans Accuser, formed in 1986, with over 30 years in the scene, along with the classic bands of the time such as Heathen, Exodus, Death Angel, Sodom, Metallica and Megadeth, but in the recent years went under the name Scartribe before returning in 2008 under original moniker Accu, sir. Okay, Accuser current lineup is as follow: Frank Thomas, vocals, guitars, the only remaining original member. Dennis Yu, guitars, joined the band in 2014. Frank Kimpel, basses, joined the band in 2008, and Olli Fechner, drums, joined the band in 2002. Dennis, it has been 4 years since the band gone through a lineup change, and to which we have to say it was yourself that the band recruited back in 2014 as the new guitarist, replacing Uwe Smith. How do you and the other guys get along together? I believe the feeling must be very good since the band is doing very good on the two last album. I believe there's a strong bond among the members. And do you still have the contact with the past members?
Yeah, so our band currently is in a very good position, and we have a very good inter-band relationship. We almost have a familial vibe going on. I have contact with the past members like Uwe Schmidt. I talk to him sometime when I get to see him at shows, and I've also talked to the guitarist before him, René Schütz. They're still around, they're still doing that thing, but they're not doing that much music or that seriously these days.
The band's last album, before this, new one, The Forlorn Divine, a 47 minutes record that has filled with riffs, ripping guitars and shredding bass, and vicious vocals that brought the album together to form one intensive work of metal that metal fans wanted out of a thrash album. Dennis, how has it gone for the band these 2 last years, and especially all the shows, the tours done, and the album sales, everything the band was busy with in support of the Forlorn Divine? And are you guys satisfied how it all ends?
The album, The Fall on Divide, was definitely a great step for us. And being part of Metal Blade Records has been quite beneficial when it comes to playing shows. We're able to play quite awesome shows. For example, Rock Hard Festival in Germany. And no, it's been great. The fan reception has been great to the new songs. We hear fans requesting songs from The Forlorn Divide live all the time. And we want to keep them happy. But at the same time, we incorporate many old songs in our sets as well. So we try to find the right balance. And it's been really cool playing this album live and mixing it with the typical Accuser stuff.
But I believe now that you have the new album out, Mastery, you're gonna be doing like the set list more combined of the two last albums?
Yeah, sure. So this year we're gonna focus a bit more on the new record, obviously, because it's fresh and we want to promote it, but don't want to play the album in its entirety. We still want to play the old stuff and still want to play some of the Full On Divide stuff and maybe some stuff from Diabolic. So it's a nice balance for the fans, for old fans and new fans alike.
I miss you in 2016 at Summer Breeze. How was it there for you, and how was it for the bands, for the fans to hear you guys playing at the time the Full On Divide, very fresh album at the time?
Yeah, so Summer Breeze was a pretty great festival, I have to say. There were so many great bands playing there, and the weather was awesome. We got to play very late, but despite that, there were so many people turning up and lining up and filling the space in front of the stage, and we got to play in front of a huge crowd at, 1 a.m.
Yeah, that's pretty late, man.
Yeah, but the people didn't mind. They were wild, they were aggressive, they were marching like crazy.
But you play at one of the two biggest stages, one of them?
No, it was a side stage, but
okay.
it was awesome despite that.
Yeah, I enjoy Summer Breeze all the time. I'm planning to go this year, 2018. I must be there again.
Yeah, I don't know if we play this year, but maybe next year. We'll see.
Last November 2017, German Treasure Accused have released a video for a Mission Missile, the first taste of new music from the band's new album, The Mastery. Tell us about this video, what it's all about, and why have you chosen this song as the opening track of the album and as well as the first single?
The opening track, Mission Missile, is, I think, the favorite song for the whole band. We like all the songs on the album, but this song really stands out to us. And so we chose it as the first single, and we also wanted to use it for our first video. When we were in the studio, we thought about, doing something in the studio there, filming something, but in the end we just recorded a bit of footage of us playing the song in the studio, and then let a friend of ours cut everything together and overlay some archival war footage, which really fits the theme of the song.
Okay, so it was all up to you to decide what songs you want to promote first. In this case, your record label, Metal Blade, didn't have a word in?
It's been kind of back and forth. We as a band, we came up with 3 songs we wanted to promote, but then Metal Blade kind of suggested changing one of them out. And so right now we have the 3 songs, Mission Missile, Time for Silence, and Catacombs as our singles.
German thrash metal legends Accuser just released their brand new album, The Mastery, on January 26 via Metal Blade Record. The Mastery is some kind of missing link between the technical virtuosity of an album like Who Dominates Who and the more basic, heavy approach of Repent. The Mastery contains all of its elements that define the Accuser sound. Heavy, chunky thrash riff, aggressive vocal with a touch of melody in addition to the high-class guitar solo by you, Dennis. You as a great young virtuoso. Dennis, I want to congratulate you with this great new album, your second album with Accuser since you joined the band in 2014, or I can say your third album if I include Who Dominates Who, the 25th anniversary release in 2014. Dennis, how has the album songwriting gone this time? How long has you and Frank spent on this album? Did you wrote it together with Frank Kimpel and Olli Fechner as well? And what's so different this time about the lyric compared to the one of the Florent Divine?
First of all, thank you very much for the nice compliment. It's great to hear that you're enjoying it.
Very good. Very, very good album.
Thank you. So the writing process went quite differently this time than for our previous album. With the Forlorn Divide, we really took our time and we really iterated a whole bunch on every song and really tried to perfect every little nuance on that song, those songs. And with the mastery, Frank Thoms really gave the foundation for most of the songs. So he put together some demo tracks, also with a few ideas incorporated from Frank Kimpel. And then we, as a band, listened to the demos from Frank Thoms and adjusted some things, changed some things, maybe shortened some songs or put some more stuff in there. But the whole thing was done pretty fast. So whereas with the previous album, I don't know, we took about a year or so. With this album, the whole thing was written in 1 or 2 months.
I also want to say that the band has lately released 2 videos. A lyric video on January 9th for the song Time for Silence, which is the second single of the album, and a full video on January 23rd for the song Catacombs, which is the third single from this new album. Have this video been done by the same one who did the first one, Dennis? And why has the band released 2 videos so fast, one after each other?
So back when we decided which songs to release as singles, we also decided on what song would have what video accompanying it. So like I said, the first video was just some studio footage and archival footage edited together, and that was done by a friend of the band. The second video for Time for Silence, the lyric video, I did myself. The third video for Catacombs was shot at the end of December when we played a show here near Siegen, and we had another friend of the band show up because he has a video company and he recorded us playing the song on stage, and then also all the green screen stuff. So we did everything on the same day.
Recorded, mixed, and mastered at Gerhard Studio, where Destruction, Tankard, and many more other bands also do their music in North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany, together with a longtime producer Martin Buckwalter. Did you guys move the music style more into an old-school thrash vibe, or more brutal groove, or even more death-oriented with this album than it was with the last one? And how was the mixing and recording gone with Martin at this time at Gerhard Studio?
The Forlorn Divide was a very technical album. It was inspired by Who Dominates Who records from the 80s and from that era. We were very inspired by the technical side of this album, so we wanted to incorporate many of the things into the Forlorn Divide. Now, with the mastery, we were more inspired by the more groove and rhythm-heavy tracks on Repent. So we were listening a bunch to Repent and really try to capture this, this atmosphere of the songs, and really transform it into a modern thrash album. That was our goal this time, and we wanted to go for a more natural sound. The drums, in my opinion, sound way more natural than before. They have a very earthy quality, and the guitars, while still digitally recorded, they also sound pretty, natural and very, very human. Yeah, I think some death elements really got into there, but the Forlorn Divide also has a couple of death metal moments on there. The mixing and mastering process was done by Martin, and he mixed and mastered all the tracks and then sent them to us, and we gave him feedback, and so it was again kind of an iterative process from the raw recorded tracks to the finished album. It was pretty awesome, and working with Martin is always so great. He's an amazing guy.
So there's a big chance for another album we will see Accuser back at Gerhard Studio.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, Dennis, the band has the second album via Metal Blade Records in only 2 years. How do you feel Metal Blade has been for Accuser now that you've been with the label for a couple of records, even though the album has just been released? Dennis, do you believe it's still important in this new era to have a proper representation label? And for the fans who wants to get this album mastery in their collection, or must have it in their collection, and how many formats are there available?
Yeah, Metal Blade Records has been great this whole time. They're such a great label, and they have such a big history with big bands, and they've been around for such a long time. So they really have the experience and the reach and the established foundation to really to get your music out there. Because of the internet and social media, bands today have much better way to to get their music out there to as many people as possible. But still, if you have the support of a great label, that's so much better for the band. You don't have to spend all the time promoting your stuff, trying to get people's attention, when a label like Metal Blade Records already gets the attention and can promote their stuff as well as they can.
But Dennis, one more question. Since Metal Blade Records is such a big label, so famous, are they also taking care of your promotion? So what's all the shows are about, or you have special booking agencies?
So we have the same booking agent as we did before we joined Metal Blade Records. So they're not responsible for the actual live side of the band. They're responsible for the promotional aspect of the album. And getting shows and booking shows and playing gigs is still our responsibility, or the responsibility of our manager. And yeah, being part of this label has obviously opened many doors for us. If our manager asks someone if we can play a show, and that guy sees that we're signed with Metal Blade Records, then he might give us a spot, a top billing spot.
Okay, since you have a re-release, I'm gonna go back. This album, the 25 years anniversary, Who Dominates Who, are this album still available if people wants it?
I don't know if the re-release is available. It's of course available digitally. You can get it on Amazon and then stream the whole thing. I don't know about CD version. You have to check. Maybe there's some out there, but that was before we joined Metal Blade Records, so they're not really involved in that kind of thing. The Full On Divide and the Mastery you can still get very easily. And,
okay.
Maybe not the special editions, because you asked.
I thought that it was re-released via Metal Blade, between Metal Blade and Frank Thomas. They did it, and should be available either through the record label or through the band, if some fans want to have these old materials re-released.
The re-release of Who Dominates Who was not released under Metal Blade Records. We joined them after we re-released the Who Dominates Who records, so they're not involved in that stuff. We had a company remaster and re-release all the older albums, so they've become available, I don't know, last year or 2 years ago.
To another label?
Yes, another label. They're just handling all the old stuff.
Okay.
That's been released again on CD and on vinyl. Metal Blade is just responsible for the new stuff.
For the fans who wants or have to get this new album Mastery in their collection, in how many formats are they available, Dennis?
So you have, the usual stuff, CD and MP3, all the guys that want to stream music and not have anything physical in their hands. But for the vinyl fans out there, we, just like with the Full On Divide, we have released a vinyl version of the album and a special edition colored vinyl.
Do you know how many quantities are these available?
I believe 200.
Yeah.
So it's very limited, and it's pretty cool looking, I have to say.
Now, are these CDs or vinyls available at the band shows?
Yeah, so every time we play somewhere, we bring some merch with us, and the new album, of course, and all the other stuff as well. But we don't have unlimited quantities, so for people who want to buy stuff at our shows, they have to get there and have to get their stuff before it's sold out.
Okay, Dennis, great reviews and comments, and for sure, awesome scores from metal magazines from all over the world. I can say a few, like Amp Up from Belgium gave you 8 out of 10. Metal DE out of Germany gave you 8 out of 10. Hard Rock Germany 8.5 out of 10. Power of Metal Denmark 9 out of 10. Metal Temple Greece 9/10, and so on and on. Many more great scores you guys receive for the Mastery. How do you feel as a musician and as a band with all this great feedback from all these experts in the scene?
Obviously, it's a great honor to have people listen to the album and say that they've been enjoying it, listing all the great aspects. I've been really putting a lot of energy into all the solos on this record. Those were really my creative input for the whole thing, and it's great to see and read that people appreciate all the work that went into there. I've been seeing great responses for the solos, for the whole band. They've done a great job and really pulled out all the stops for this record.
I want to congratulate you once again for such a great work you've done on this last album. And once again, a lot of people don't know that this question I know you get over and over again. Dennis, you received guitar lessons from Frank Thomas, but I want to ask you, at this moment, I believe that the student has become better than the teacher. Is it true?
Well, I don't know. Frank is definitely a great guitarist and a great rhythm guitarist. He has so much stamina for this shredding and fast playing and stuff. I tend to focus more on the solo stuff, and he has this very distinct style, and he's perfected this style over the years. So it's hard to say who's better, and I don't think music should be about who's better, but just enjoying what people play.
Who dominates who? Once again, I want to say the Mastery is a fantastic album filled with heavy riffs, intense drums, and melodic and groove-filled bassline. One thing for certain is that Accuser show no sign of slowing down as they constantly build upon their own sound. Dennis, the album has been just released on January 26, 2018. What are the upcoming shows so far? Any album release party show?
We kind of played our release show at the end of December near Siegen, where we filmed the video for Catacombs. We don't have any show planned in January, but we'll be hitting the stage in March again, and then we have a couple of shows lined up. We're still not done with our planning for shows for this year, so there might be some nice gigs and festivals just around the corner.
Yeah, that was my next question. If there's going to be any summer metal open-air festival scheduled this year, and will the band be touring outside Europe?
That remains to be seen. Like I said, we're currently in the planning phases for all this stuff 2018. We will have to see. It's not within our control, but we'd love to play in as many countries and as many cities as we possibly can.
Yes, I think the fans here across the Atlantic Ocean deserve to see this band live. For those that have never gone to Europe, from South America, North America, really deserve to see you guys on the road.
Yeah, like I said, we want to play in as many countries as we possibly can, and we've gotten that quite a lot, that people want to hear us in North America or South America. We'll look into that, and we try to maybe get a foot in the door and maybe get a show or two going.
Dennis, thank you very much once again to make this interview possible, and I want to hand you over the microphone of Metal Messiah Radio if you want to say, the last word, and for you to invite all the friends, all the fans to support the bands, to buy the new album, mastering all the older albums, and to buy merchandises if you have merchandises available, and to attend your shows you have coming up. And at the same time, I want to say hello, I want to thank the whole band. I want to say hello to Frank Thomas, I want to say hello to Frank Kimpel and to Olli Fechner, great musician that has made Accuser so big, and especially to you, Dennis, once again, thank you, and the microphone is all yours.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate all the stuff you've said about our album, and it's been great being on this little show. So I'd say to the fans out there, if you like what we do, then feel free to support us. Check out our videos on the Metal Blade Records YouTube channel, and maybe consider buying our new record, The Mastery, on MP3, CD, or vinyl. And maybe, if you're lucky, you might get the chance to buy the colored special edition vinyl.
Any other merchandises, Dennis, so far that you have available?
We don't have any specific The Mastery shirts right now, but I'm sure they'll be coming out soon.
Okay, so we're gonna keep in touch. Anything else you want to add, or something important that you want your fans to know? We always here ready to support you and support the band.
Yeah, that's basically all I have to say. If you like what we do, then consider supporting us, and the same goes for every band out there. If you support music in general, then everyone gets to benefit from it. Every band gets to benefit from that. The bigger the music scene, the better the chances for every band out there.
Dennis, like I always say, metal on. Bye-bye.
You too, bye. Hey, this is Dennis from German thrash metal band Accuser, and I want to congratulate Metal Messiah Radio for its 10-year anniversary.